Hello guys, welcome back to Codemy. My name is Shri Bhagwat and today we are back with a new video. In today's video we are going to create a Flutter clone application of a very popular game called as Wordle. So if you don't know what Wordle is, then let me show you. So coming back to our screen, you can see over here that this is a game which is currently trending a lot right now, and in this game it generates a random 5 letter word, and you have 6 tries to guess what the word is, and you have to just guess what the word that is in your mind. And if the letter in the word that you have guessed is at the right position, then the box will become green. If the letter is in the word but is at the wrong position, then the box will become yellow. And if the letter is not present at all, then the box will be gray. So this is how this game works. Okay, so now let us try. They have generated a new word and I don't know, so I will start with drive. And if I hit enter, okay, so R is there and R is present at the right place. Again, uh, wrong. Okay, fine. So now over here, if you can see, this is the word over here, and this also has statistics and settings. We won't be going, but we are going to create this application over here. So let me minimize this. So let us get started over here. I have just created a normal Flutter application and there is just main.dart over here, nothing else. We haven't taken any packages or anything that we need. So what I'm going to do is right now I'm currently going to remove everything from this. I'm going to create a new application from scratch. So we create our void main function over here, which is going to return our run app. And I hope till now you guys are familiar with this thing. Okay, we are going to create a stateless widget called as Wordle Clone, and we are going to give this parameter over here. Container will be material app. Okay, now we are going to create one more file over here, and I'm going to give this as our home screen as usual. Okay, and this would be a stateful widget called as home screen. Okay, let me import material page over here, and I'm going to zoom it. I hope this is visible. Too much zoom. Yeah, fine. Now we are going to first hide the debugger banner over here, and our home will be a home screen that we created. Okay, the parenthesis constant keyword according to the new Dart rules. Okay, coming back to our home screen over here, I'm going to increase the font of this as well. I hope this font is readable by all of you. Now we have to create this, so let us start with a scaffold. So we have created a scaffold, and color will be white. We don't have to mention that. And body over here, I am going to give a column, as we always know that we're going to fit everything in a column, and then children over here. And I'm going to create a text over here, and in the text I'm going to write Wordle Clone, and we will make sure that our application is running. So I'm going to hit the play button. So now we are back with this Wordle Clone. So now you can see over here that our application has been running successfully, and there was no error in creating the main.dart file. So now we have to generate a random 5 letter word, and for this we are going to create a helper class over here. I'm going to name it helper dot dart, and we also need one more directory. I'm going to name it assets. Okay, assets, and we are going to add and assets folder which an asset class which will have all the words, most of the words. So let me just find this, open in finder, and we can see this has all the text. So I'm going to just copy and paste it over here. Now okay, we have most of the words from English dictionary present over here, a triple a and everything, and we have to import those. So I'm going to close it over here. I'm going to come back to my pubspec.yaml, and over here you can see the asset file is there. Okay, and we're going to import this assets file into our project. So coming on top, I'm going to uncomment this. Let me increase the font size, and I'm going to remove this completely. I'm going to check the indentation and assets slash. Again, we have to match the indentation 1 2 3 4 and 1 2. Done. As we are in our pubspec.yaml file, there are a few things that we are going to need. So to create an alert, I'm going to just import our Flutter alert packages, and I'm going to hit pub get, and after this is done, I'm going to hit the pause button and play our application again from the start, because we are going to need this assets dot words underscore alpha dot text in the application. So I have hit the pause button and I have hit the play button again. Till that time, let's open our helper function, and we are going to create our helper class which will generate a random key which will be having 5-letter in its 5-letter word, and we are going to extract that. So let us create a helper class. So helper function. Okay, let me increase the font as well over here. I hope this font is visible. Yes, and we are going to create a generate random word function. Okay, so which will return a string. So future string random word. Okay, so this is the word like this, and it is going to throw an error because it is right now it is null returned. So I am going to give return like this, which will remove this error, and now we have to create a function. Okay, so before we move on to create this function, first we have to import the words text file that we have into our assets folder in our application. So for that, we are going to create a variable called as word is equal to, and we have to await this function. Why? Because we have to make sure that the file that we are going to take is imported, and whenever we use await keyword, we also need async with it. So our word is equal to await, and we are going to go to the root bundle. Okay, we are going to explore the root bundle property, and it is present in the services. That's why we have imported the services class, and load string. Okay, and we are going to load the string from our assets, and we have to give the path. So it is assets slash words alpha dot txt. Okay, this. So I'm going to rename this as word file. Okay, so this is the entire file that we want that is been loaded by our root bundle dot load string function. Okay, and now we are going to run a for loop which will extract this words file, and we will add them to a list. So for that we will have to create a list of words, and it would be a blank list. If you want, we can also give it a string parameter over here, because the words will be in string format. Okay, so what we have to do now, if you see this word file, this word file it has a each and every word is in new line, okay, and they are just a txt file, and we have loaded the root. We have loaded this file by using root bundle.load string, and from this keyword and from this path, okay, from this assets path we have loaded the file into our word file where the entire file is, and let us hit print command to check what we are going to print. So I'm going to print word file over here, and in our home screen we are going to create a init method over here, and let us create a initializer of our helper class. So helper function underscore helper function is equal to helper function over here, and just run the function over here. Helper function dot generate random word, and I'm going to hit play button to check what we are getting over here, and see we have all the words printing. So all the words from our word alpha text are getting print into the console. Now we have to extract these words, and we have to make sure that we add them into the list that we are going to generate, and we'll make sure that the word that we are extracting contains 5 letters into it, okay. So let's go back to our helper function, and now the main problem is that our file, if you'll see over here, it's not a single string, okay, and there is a line break after each word. So you have to make sure that this line break doesn't affect our code. So what we are going to do is we are going to use a line splitter, and we are going to convert the word into string, okay. We have to convert each and every word into string. So for that we are going to use word string is equal to line splitter dot convert word file, okay. And if we will hit the print function now, and I give word string, after hitting command dash nothing will happen. Let me just run the application. Yes, now you can see everything has been taken into a string, okay. We have converted that, so if you'll see our console over here, you will come to know that the words that were aligned in a column, they have been converted into a array of string, okay, over here. Now what we are going to do, we are going to run a for loop, and we are going to make sure that the letter that we are going to choose, that letter should be, the word that we are going to choose, that word should have 5 letters in it. Why? Because we have to generate a 5 letter keyword, okay. So we are going to run a for string I in word string, okay. We are going to run a for loop for this word string, and we have to make sure that if I dot length is equal to 5, then only what we have to do, we have to add words dot add word string words dot add I, okay. We are going to add the string I in this, okay. And just let me hit a print command over here. Moreover, instead of print, you can use debug print as well, but I rarely use it because I'm used to hitting the print function. But let's say I'll print I, so that we will come to know what we have over here. And you can see all the words over here, they will be having just 5 letters. Doser, D-O-S-E-R, okay. So they have 5 letters. And after this we are going to, so now what we have done, we have created a list of words, okay, and this list has only 5 letter words. Now we have to generate a random word from this list. So for that we are going to need a random generator function over here. Yeah, so now what we have to do is we have to generate a random number which will be between 0 to the length of this words list, and we will choose that random word from our words list. Okay, so first we are going to use the random maths class in this. So random rand is equal to random, and then random number is equal to dot next int would be words dot length. Okay, so this will give us the random number, and then now we will return the word. So coming back to our return function over here, we are going to return words and random number. So this will help us to return the word. Now what we are going to do is we are going to make sure that this is string again. So we are going to make it to string and to uppercase. Okay, we are going to send this letter in uppercase. Now let me hit play button again, and you will see that we are generated a random word. Let me remove this debug print from here, or what I will do is command C, and okay, I will just paste this over. I will just paste this inside this to make sure that we have a random number or a random word as well. Let us start with and also let me remove. Okay, yeah, so let us check this get random word. Okay, and over here you can see we have got this word cuteness. Let me just hit the play button again. Okay, we have this one more word. So our generate random word function is working very nicely and smoothly. So now let us come back to our home screen. Okay, let us get back with the UI. So I am now going to cut the text file that we have, and now the UI will see we are going to use a text field. Okay, a text field, and we want a row of 5 text fields and a column which will have like this 6 rows. Okay, why? Because we have 6 chances. Now we are going to use a list generator function to generate the lists or the text field. Okay, so we will be using repetitive code right now to make it easier, and at the end of the code we will be refactoring it. Okay, so coming back over here, now what we want is that when I press a button in a text field, the text field should change its focus and jump to the second text field that is inside a row. Now we will generate a list of text controllers that we will be needing, and also we will generate a list of focus node. Okay, so that we can change the focus. So let us come back to a place where we create our functions over where we declare our variables. This part won't be changing, so I'll keep it at the top. This we will have to change and refactor. So let's come over here on line number 22. You can say we will create a list of node. So I will create list, and I will give its type as focus node. Okay, and after that I'm going to create a variable focus node, and let's give it 1. Why? Because this list will hold the focus node of the first row. The second list will hold all the focus nodes of the second row. Okay, is equal to list over here, and focus node dot generate, and we want this length of 5 over here, and the return will be focus node. Okay, yeah, so what this is doing is we have created a list, and we have given its data type as focus node, and we have also created a variable focus node 1 which is a list, and it generates. We want 5 focus node present, so we have created a generate. We are using a generate function, and we have given the length to be 5 and index which will return focus node. Okay, now for this focus node we are going to need a text controller. Okay, so coming back over here, okay, just let me give over here focus nodes, and at the bottom I will write text editing controllers. Now let us create a text editing controller. Text editing controller is equal to underscore text editing, text editing controller 1 is equal to, this also will return a list, and I don't want a is equal to over here. This will return a list. This list will be of text editing controller, okay, which will generate, okay, so dot generate, the length will be 5, and this will also return the text editing controller. So here also we will write text editing controller, okay. So this will also generate, so this function or this variable will generate a list of text editing controller having a length of 5. So each list will consist of 5 text editing controller that we are going to use in a row, okay. So let us come down over here, and inside our column we will give a text first, which will write Wordle clone, okay, and I will just give a normal text style to this. So style will be text style, okay. So I'm just going to give a normal style to this, and here it is, okay. So we just have a basic text style which will give the color to be black, weight 500, and size to be 20. We want some space, so I will give a sized box on top, of height will be some 20, okay, comma, command S. You can see we have this Wordle clone over here. We need some more height, but what I will do is I will wrap this in safe area, okay. This will go in safe area, command S. You can see it's over here, okay. So now we have to bring this Wordle clone in center. So what I will do is, I will wrap this in a row, this text, or just in center. You can see, yeah. So now this is in center. We also have the padding from top. Now we have to create the first text field, okay. So over here we will generate a list of widgets, okay, inside this. And for that, before we do that, let us create some width and height. So double, so now we have the width and the height that we're going to require to create our UI. Now let us create some list. This list will be of widget, and this each widget will hold our text field. So I will write text field 1 over here, which is again a list of widget dot generate, okay. So we are going to generate, length will be 5 again over here, okay. So this length will be 5 index, and this will give us back a text field, IELD. This will give us back a text field. Now we have to use this text field inside, okay. So we have created this text field 1, and now we are going to use this text field 1 into our application, into our scaffold. So now in this center, or sorry, in this column, I am going to create a list view, okay. So I will create a list view over here, and the list view will take a horizontal direction, and this list view scroll direction would be axis dot horizontal, and children over here will be text field 1. This will be the children, okay. I'm going to press command S, and you can see we have null operator used over here. So we have this null render box not laid, okay. So I'm going to wrap this rest view into a container, and I'm going to give this container a width that we have, and I just want height to be 70 right now. I'm going to hit Command S, and this is showing this text field cannot have unbound height, so I'm going to wrap this with container over here, and I'm going to give this container a width. Okay, and this width we want is that we want 5 containers over here, 5 containers of text field over here. So the normal width divided by 5. So let us create a variable called as container variable, container width, and this will be width divided by 5, and for padding we will give a -20 for it, overall padding, so -20. And I'm going to give this container width of our container width, and let's hit Command S, and you can see over here that we have our 5 1 2 3 4 5, we have our 5 text fields. Now let us create the style of our text field. So starting, I would go with the, let's say we'll give border. So let's go with decoration would be input I capital, sorry, input decoration, and we are just going to make squares right now. Okay, and enable border, outline input border we are going to use right now. So outline input border, and border radius will be border radius dot circular 5. Okay, over here, and we want border side, so border side color right now will be gray, colors dot gray, and width would be 1, and I think yes, guess, let me hit Command S, and you can see that we have this borders laid right now. Okay, now we want the focused border, like when we choose the text field which is in focus, the border of that. So we are going to create a focused border over here. So focused border, and for starters I'm going to just uh, copy everything because we don't want any changes in that, but later we are going to. So now everything is same over here, 1 2 3 4, yes. Okay, so we have text field, I'm going to give max length to be 2, Command S. We have to remove, okay, you must be thinking why 2, right? Okay, let's start with 1 over here. So I will give max length to be 1 right now, and we want to remove this text, so I will come back over here. I think it's inside decoration, so counter text would be blank, Command S. The text is gone over here, so we don't have the text right now. Now we have this UI over here, but the problem is if I type, it would get print just once, but it won't move on to the second word. So now what we are going to do, we are going to come back to a text field over here, and in our text field we are going to use some functions, and this one function that we are going to use inside text field is on changed. Now this on changed function will help us to switch from this node, from the first node to the second node. So coming back to our on changed function over here, if you'll see, it takes a string value as a parameter, and then we have to create a function, and this function, in this function now we are going to jump from our first node to the second node. So how we are going to do that? Now we also have to give the text controllers to the text field, right? So coming back to giving the text controllers over here, yes, so this is our text field, this is the decoration, let me minimize the decoration, and coming to bottom over here, we want autofocus to be true. Then we also want text, we want controller to be text controller 1, and we have index over here. See, we have generated this in a list, so we have this index. So this index will match with the list of the text controllers. So the first text field will get controller 1, the second text field will get controller 2. Just like that, focus node, we are going to give underscore focus node 1 and index over here. So just now we also assigned the focus node to our application. We want this text to be capitalized. So text capitalization is text capitalization dot characters. We want each and every character to be capitalized. And now we are going to use this on change function. So now what we are going to do in on change, that we are going to add up. Okay, so now what we have to do is, now we have to make sure that when we change this value, the focus node gets incremented. Okay, so now what we are going to do is, on this on changed value, we will change the focus node. So focus node 1, it would be index plus 1 dot, and we are going to request this focus node. So we are going to use request focus. So this will help us to change the focus. Now I'll hit command S, and if you will see, if I'll type S, sorry, not over here, if I'll type S over here, it will go to the next, text field. Again S, and over here we are facing an error. Why? Because now there is no index plus 1 over here available. Okay, so what we are going to do is, we have to make sure that this index doesn't cross the fifth letter. Okay, so let us create an if statement over here. If this index is greater than 4, if this index is less than 4, okay, if the index is less than 4, then only we want our focus node to change. Then only we want our focus node to change. So command S again, I will hit play, and okay, 1 2 3 4, yes, now it is not changing. So done. We can move ahead. Now the problem is how to come back. I am hitting the relay button, but it is not coming back. We want the focus node to come back, because then just typing over here and not able to come back is very problematic. And for that, there is a nice article which I read, that we can create a blank text. Okay, and once we come to that blank text, we can use on changed method to make our focus node to come a step back. Okay, so we are going to use that. And the blank text is called as a /u200b. Okay, so we are going to add this. Okay, we are going to add the text to be /u200b. So whenever we create a text controller over here, we are going to give this property text /u for a backward /u200b text present previously, so or present beforehand. This is a white space, but it doesn't occupy space in our container. And then we are going to make the max length to be 2, and if I hit command over here, you can see that if I hit S, just by adding a single letter, it is still going ahead. Okay, a, it is going ahead. Okay, now let me just come back, remove all of them. Now what we're going to do over here is, if text controller index dot text, then we have to shift to back. Okay, so command S, and if you'll see a 2 3 4, and if I hit backspace, it will come back. Okay, now you can see the error over here, it's going back, when it is at the last. Okay, if it is at the last, then it will come back. But then when we are hitting backspace again, it is going ahead. Okay, it is going to the focus node next. Why? Because after this if command, this if index is greater than 4 command is also running, and that's why it is going ahead. So let us give this some more conditions, and I'm going to add another condition. And text editing controller dot text, sorry, index dot text dot length, and that length should be greater than 1. Okay, that length should be greater than 1. If that length is greater than 1, then only we want it to shift to the next node. So let me remove this, and if I'll type a at the back, I will shift this condition also. We will make sure this condition also good. And now if I hit backspace, 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 we are doing the right job. Okay, again we are going ahead, and back, 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 done. Now if I hit backspace over here, we will also have an error. Why? Because there is nothing after, there is nothing before 0. So I'll add one more condition over here. How come this is bad? This is bad. Yes, I'll add one more condition over here. So if index is greater than 0, then only we want this to work. So let me drop it over here. Yes, command S. Let me just hit command S. So now S, 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 S. And if I hit backspace, 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 and there is no error now. We are going to create a container button. You can create a normal general container button. Okay, over here. So I'm going to just make an elevate button on pressed, and this child would be a text child, would be a text, and I will just write right now create function. Okay, that's it. And command S, we have this create button. Right now nothing will be happening. I'm just going to print. I'm going to hit button, command S, make sure yes. Now what we're going to do is we are going to check each and every word from this row or from the text field, and we have to make sure that this word matches with the word that we have generated over here, the random word that we have generated. So let us create a function called as check text field with random text. Okay, so here we have void check text field with random word text, with random word text over here. And now what we are going to do is we are going to create a function that will run a for loop from the text controllers that we have, and it will check that if this text matches with the random word that we have, and we are going to change the colors. So for that, let us create a one more list of colors which will hold all the colors. Okay, so here I'm going to create a list. So variable, or this also will be a list of color, which will be called as color list, or just color row 1. Right now this will be blank. Okay, and yeah, fine for now. So what we're going to do is we are going to make sure that this color row is blank at the start. So again we are going to make it blank. Then what we're going to do, we are going to run a for loop. So for the random word that we have, let us create a new variable on top, random word, because right now it is just in our init state over here, right? It is just in our init state and we have to extract. So string random word, okay, and it's not right now. Let just be a blank word. Create a function called as void get random word, which is an async function, okay. And what I will do is random word is equal to helper function dot generate random word, and I will call this in our init function. We need a wait over here, a wait keyword gone. Let us call this function get random word, okay. And in this I will hit a print command to check if our word is getting printed. Okay, so in this for loop, what we are going to check first, we have to just make sure that the text editing controller letter, if it is present anywhere inside the random word, then we are going to mark it as present. Okay, what we're going to do, we are going to mark it as present and we're going to insert that color into our color row. Okay, we're going to insert that color into our color row. So for that, if random word, and we're going to just check again that index, this I index, or random word dot contains right now, because we have to check if it is present anywhere inside. Okay, so contains, and this would be text editing controller I dot text. And before we check that, okay, so now when we created a text controller, we have added a blank space over here, the under the backward slash u 200b. We have to make sure that we remove that first. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back and dot replace all, and from this pattern slash u 200b, we are going to replace that with a blank text first from here. Okay, so we have to make sure that this random word dot contains this text, and if it contains, then what we're going to do, color row dot add, no dot insert. Okay, we're going to insert at index I and the element will be color, so colors dot yellow. Okay, so this is it. Now the second part is, if it is not contained, okay, if it is not contained, that means it is absent, right? So this letter is not over here, so we are going to do else color row 1 dot insert, sorry, dot insert, and at that index we are going to insert the gray color. Okay, so it is colors dot gray over here. So we got this. Now what we have to check is you have to make sure that the index, if it is matching with the random index. So what I'm going to do is, again we are going to create one more if state, if else state. So if text editing controller dot I dot text is equal to random word I dot, okay, I. So if this condition is matched, we want the color row 1 dot insert I, and we want the color to be green. Why? Because it is at the same position as well. So colors dot green. Okay, and else, that means else we want this to be yellow, means it is not at the exact position, means this position is not matching, so this is yellow. and again we have to use this text dot replace. So text dot replace all from the pattern. We have to remove the pattern. So /u200b, and we're going to replace that with a blank keyword. Okay, and this is it. At the end I'm going to hit a set state, and now we are going to add this color to our text field container. Okay, so coming back to the text field that we have created over here, text field 1, and coming to the color over here, if color row dot is empty, I want the color to be white. Okay, and else it should be color row, and we also have index. So let us check over here. I have hit play again, and s. Okay, and I'll hit create. Okay, we have to call this function. So coming back into our create button, and over here I will call this function random word command s. You can see the word. Okay, let me just hit play button again, and the word is books. So what I will do is I will give b over here. I will write some random over here, k and t. So I think all the letters are present in books over here, and if I hit create button, you can see B is present at the first index. So this has been again green. The S is present in the word, but it is at the wrong index. It is yellow. A is not present. So again B O O K. K is present and it is also at the same index. So it is green, and T is not there in books. That's why it is gray. So our first row is running completely smoothly. Now why it has copied over here? Because we haven't changed the focus node, nor we have changed the text controller. Okay, but doing this again and again is very tedious. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to refactor this code. Okay, so to refactor this code, let us come completely at the top over here. I am going to erase all the list fields. Okay, this is done. This is my scaffold. This is the text field that we're going to need. Okay, the controllers. Now I'm going to remove all the controllers from here. We don't need them. I'm going to remove all the focus node because we are not going to waste so much time in this. Now, instead of creating a single list of focus node, we are going to create a list which will hold a list of focus node. So let me just comment this. I will create a list which will take a list of focus node and I will write all focus nodes, which will be a list. Okay, now let this list will be a list of FOCUS focus node. I am going to generate. Now we want 6, right? So the length should be 6, and it will, what it will return? It will return again a list, and this time this list would be of a simple focus node, and this will generate, okay, sorry, this will generate me the length of 5, and it will also have index normal, and it will return a normal focus node over here, right? Okay, no errors. Yeah, so what we have done, we have created a list inside a list, and this list will return a list of focus nodes, and the first list will generate a 6 list, and each list will again generate a focus node which will be having 5 focus nodes. So this is how we created all focus nodes, and same that way we are going to create the text editing controllers. Okay, the same way. So let me comment this, and coming down over here, create a list of, again a list of text editing controller. Okay, which will be all text editing controllers. Okay, and it will return a list of text editing editing controller, which will, okay, command s, okay, which will generate the length of 6 index, which will return, again it will return a list of text editing controller, because there is a list inside a list, text editing controller, which will again generate, now this time the word will be the number will be 5, and it will return a normal text editing controller with our text, which would be slash backslash u 200b, if I'm not wrong. And this widget will be all text fields is equal to list, again a list of widget dot generate, please let it work, list widget dot generate, yeah, generate, the length would be 6, which will also give us back index, and this will return again a list which would be of widgets, which will again dot generate, the length of 5 will hold index, and this will return text field, right, text field over here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to need both the index. So the sixth number index will be index, and this would be index 1 over here. Why? Because we're going to need both the indexes over here. So this is our all text field, and let us wrap this text field with padding as we have done before. So this will go with padding, and this will go again with a container. The container will have width that we have taken, and height will be, sorry, height will be 70, and the width will be container width that we have declared on top. So container width over here. And what I'm going to do is now we will also create list of list of colors for this. We have to refactor everything. So this is a list of list color. Now the container. So what we're going to do is we are going to come back to our text field. Okay, first the color that we're going to give is the same logic that we had over here. Okay, so color row 1 is empty. Now what we're going to do over here is we're going to mark the index. Okay, so coming down over here, all colors index dot is empty, then the color should be white. colors colors dot white. Else we want all color index 1 over here. Why? Because this would give the row, and we want the index 1 of the means the single color over here. Okay, now with this, coming back to our text field, I'm going to copy all the text field decorations that we have. So decoration, input decoration, autofocus true. Okay, autofocus, I'm going to copy it down over here. Okay, done. Now we have to give controller, right? So controller would be here. So the controller would be all text editing controller. This would be index, normal index, and index 1. This is the controller. Just like that, we're going to give focus node would be all focus node, the first index, and then coming back to index 1 over here. Now we want autofocus to be true. Okay, this is done. Max length, yes, we're also going to give max length of 2 as well over here. Then okay, controller is done. Text capitalization characters, yes. Coming outside over here, input decoration, text capitalization, capitalization dot characters. Now on change, but let me give a comma over here first. Okay, let us go back. Autofocus is true. On changed, again string value. Okay. Let me just beautify this a bit. Okay, now the onChanged will be similar, but let's do one thing. Let's copy the onChanged from here. Okay, the entire onChanged over here. Command C onChanged, and we are just going to change this all text controller and all text controller, and after index we are going to add index 1. So same we are going to add over here also index 1, and focus node will be changed to all focus node. This would be index 1. We are going to need to add one more index over here, index, right? Let me copy this, let me paste it over here, and this would be plus. Okay, so we have created this as well. So we have also added focus node over here, and I think yes, that is all what we need right now. Dot length and index 1 index over here, and if index 1 is greater than 0, anything else that is remaining index 1 if index 1 is greater than 4, and this is also done. Okay, so coming down, okay, I will just comment them, minimize. If I hit command S, we are getting an error, and that error will be we don't have error over here, we will have error over here. So let me just comment it down. We will also have in this check button. Okay, so we'll have to change it again. I leave it button. Let me hit one command S. So we have this. Now let us create a container with width, and let's see, child will be list view dot builder. Item count over here will be all text fields dot length, and item builder will be build context and index. Okay, I'm going to shrink wrap this to true. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to return a container over here. We are going to return a container. This container will hold a child, because I'm going to return a container, I'm going to return a container, and the container will have a width. The container will have a width of container width, or fine width of width. The height will be 70. Child will be row. Row will have children, and no, row will have all text field, and this row will have children, and the children will be all text fields index over here. Command S. We have some errors over here. Elevate button. I've given a comma over here, and one more error. Yeah. Let me hit the play button now. I hope they won't interrupt. So yes, done. Okay. So this is working completely fine. Yes. So we have just refactored our code to create a list, to create a column which will have rows of our text fields, which will have rows of a text field. Now to change with check field with random text, coming back over here, and we will have to create a new function which will check everything over here. Okay, now we have to check field with random row. Okay, we have to check the text in random row, and for to select this text we are going to need the selected row variable. So let's come on top. Let me minimize this, and we are going to create one more variable. So it would be int, and this would be selected row, which is 0 for now. And coming down to our function, let us create one more function over here. Or okay, we will just change this function itself. So this will go back. This will take a variable int selected row. Let me remove everything from this function right now over here, and all colors selected row is equal to blank. Okay, this helps us to make the array blank. Now what we are going to do, we are again going to run a for loop. So for var I is equal to 0, okay, and I is less than all text controllers selected row dot length. Okay, so then in our list of text controllers list, we are going to make it as 0, or we are going to find the length of it, and after that we are going to make sure that I plus plus, so we are incrementing the value. And now we are going to run the following same commands that we have been running before. So if Yeah. So now we have going to make sure that our word or the letter is present inside our random word. So if random word, okay. So if random word dot contains, sorry, contains. Now what it contains are text. So we are going to do all text controller dot selected row, and over here we will have I dot text. Okay, but now we also have to remove the blank space that we have given. Okay, so dot replace all, and over here we have backslash u200b. This is how we come to know that there is this blank space, and we're going to replace that with a uh, blank string. Okay, now if our random word contains the text controller's text, now we also want one more if command, that if random word I is equal to all text controller selected row I, okay, and we are going to just copy the same dot text dot replace all. Okay, and from here we will just make sure that we are checking that part again. So I am going to go to backslash u200b, and I'm going to replace that with just a normal blank string. Okay, so this means it is correct. This means it is correct. So what I'm going to do is all colors dot I, and at the I at the second at the I list of all colors we are going to insert, no, at the selected row, sorry, not I, at the selected row we are going to insert at I, and the color will be colors dot green. Okay, it would be colors dot green. Else means it is present but it is not equal to that part. So all colors selected row dot insert, and over here it would be I, and this color would be yellow. Okay, this color it would be yellow, and at this else command we will write over here else it is absent, that means it is not present. Okay, so what we are going to do over here, we will just write all colors selected row dot insert, and at I we are going to insert colors dot gray. So this is what we have done. Now let us check again the application over here. Okay, so the word is Girish, fine. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to check the text field with random word text. We are going to call this function over here, okay, in the elevated button, and we are going to pass the selected row which we have created here on the top, and whenever this function is called we are going to increment the value of selected row, so that next time when we create the button we will choose a second row, and we have to make sure that the selected row number is not more than 6. It should be less than 6, then only will increment. Okay, and I am going to go for SGH. Okay, just let me play it again just to make sure. Guys, and if I'll hit create, okay, we got it. Now let us give another try. Okay, G Y G Y G S A create. Okay, we can see the Y is at the perfect place. This G is over here. It should also come at perfect place. Let's see, we'll just still go find. So G Y G E S. make sure that this is completely fine. Okay, create, done. Just let me hit the play button again. And what's the word? The word is root. So what I'll do right now is root root create. Okay, these two are right, these two are wrong. Coming down over here, woot root again, WROOT Q. Okay, then WROOT create, done. Now we have to create one more function. We are going to check if the word that we have written, have we found the word or not. Okay, so we are going to create one more function and we are going to name that void check if correct word found. Okay, why? Because we are going to make sure that we can find the correct word anytime in this. Okay, so over here we have to come and we are going to write string words is equal to a blank string over here. Okay, then we are going to create a list of words. Okay, so list word searched, okay, is equal to a blank list. Now what we are going to do is we are going to take a text editing controller, text editing controller. Okay, that we're going to need over here. We're going to take a list of text editing controller. So list, so this would be text editing controller, text editing controller that we're going to need. Text editing controller that we are going to use, and we are going to go and we are going to run a for each. Okay, we are going to run a for each function that we will loop through the words in our list of text editing controller. Okay, and this element, okay, the element that we get over here, and we will make sure that we get the words that we want. So word searched dot add, and we will add element dot text, and we're going to also going to replace now with the same pattern. So slash u200b, and we are going to replace it blank, and then also going to trim it. Okay, we are going to add that, and we have to make it to uppercase over here. So to uppercase, so we have done this. Now this is kind of a list where all the words are added in, or the when all the characters of the string are added, all the letters of the words are added over here. Now you have to make sure that this and the random word is same. So what we will do, we are going to convert this list to string. Okay, so what to do, how to do that? We are going to create words is equal to word searched dot joint. Okay, now this will create a single string. And we can just give to string at the end, but I don't think it's necessary. It is done. And then now we are going to do if word searched is if words is equal to random word, then we have to show a dialog, and now we have to create a dialog. Now so void show dialog. Okay, dialog. Now we are going to use a normal R Flutter dialog over here. We have created two dialogs. Okay, and we have created two dialogs over here. It takes a bool value of win. So if win is equal to true, then we are going to show a alert text that will say you win. Description, today's word was the following word, and if you lose, then we are going to get a alert. Okay, so if check if correct word found, then we are going to give over here show dialog when is true. Okay, this is going to be true. And what we are going to do, yes, this is done till here. And after this we are going to also make a if else case. If selected row is equal to 6 and words is not equal to random word, okay, if this case it is, then still we are going to show a alert dialog, but it will be false. That means we have lost the game. Okay, then it would be false. That means it will show this dialog, the false dialog. And now we have to add this function over here. So what we are going to do is we are going to add this function check if correct word found, and we are going to pass the editor. Okay, we are going to pass our controller editor over here. So what we are going to do is we are going to, okay, just a minute, yeah, so all text editor controller, and here it would be selected row. Okay, because we just need to pass that selected row. So first it will check if we have found the correct word. If we have not found the correct word, then it will just end over here. So let us start. I will just hit the play button again, and the word is fusil. So now I'll just go with wrong word over here, create, nothing happened. Then ILFUZ, create, okay, and then now let's go with the correct word over here, FUZIL, right. Today's you win, today's word fusil, cancel. Now we can also give many commands, like when we hit the cancel, the new word would be generated or some other changes would be done. But before that, let us create some constants over here, or I think this is fine. But let us come to our text fields, and border is gray, right? We will just change the border of a text field over here. So okay, so we haven't given the text style, so we will give style, and I will just copy the text style that I have created over here. Okay, you can just have your own text style later on, whatever you want over here. And all colors index.empty colors.black, then white, command S. Okay, we can see over here. Then now we also want some selected colors. So these are the colors that I want. I have created some constant over here. I will add them, and in our drop down function I will just make sure that I have added them. So over here it is green color, and over here it is yellow color, and over here it is gray color. Okay, this is done. We will just check the border, like if there is the word present, then we will give border. Okay, so our outline border, coming to our text field back, so outline border we have given the border over here, border side color we have given gray. So what we are going to do is we are going to copy it from here. We are going to just check that if, so how we are going to check, all text editing controller first index, okay, and then we are going to check second index, so index 1 dot text dot length. If it is greater than 1, that means we have a text. Okay, so that time we want its color to be black, so colors dot black, else I want colors to be gray, so colors dot gray. Okay, and about the width, if you say, and the same will go to our focused border as well. So focused border is here, the same logic will go. Now what we're going to do is we are going to use the same logic. We are going to copy this, and the width that we want, command V, width is 2, else the width will be 1. If the length is greater than 1, yeah. Okay, done. And let me hit the play button. Okay, now let us check. Okay, let me hit pause. Let me play from the start. Okay, let me just give some padding after. Let me erase this. This is done. We also don't want this. This is done. Coming back to bottom. Yes, done. This is also done. This function is done. Yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to do some changes over here. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to create a container with width into 0.8 and height will be 50. Instead of decoration we will go to decoration, shape, continuous rectangular border radius dot circular, let's give it 30. Color will be inside decoration, so our color will be colors dot blue. Okay, we want blue over here. Then the child will be a center child, sorry, my bad. Child will be a center child, which will again take a text, and we are going to write over here check or enter. Okay, and I'm going to give it a style of text style, and that text style will have color of colors dot white. At the start I'm going to wrap this with a gesture detector, so gesture detector is coming over here, and on tab function, and I'm going to paste my function over here which we have created. Command S, we have enter over here with continuous round border. That is done. Okay, font size 20, font weight to be bold. Command S, done. I'm going to wrap this with padding. In our on changed function I'm going to take a set state over here, so done. Yes, enter. Okay, play. We have given the set state. Now let us check. So LAPEL, done. Enter. Today's word was lapel. Okay, done. And that is it, guys. We have completed the Wordle Clone that has been going continuously on Twitter, and finally it is that this is it. If you have liked this video, if you have found how we can create this application in Flutter, then do like and share my channel, share this video as much as you can. Soon I would be coming up with new videos like this, where we will be teaching you about Flutter and other content. Like and subscribe this channel. Okay, so guys, bye bye, take care.